it is freedom. I don't know if you felt the same way when you began to discover all of like this part of life.
I felt like things that I formerly felt would be so difficult to change all of a sudden felt much more mutable and changeable.
Mm,
So it felt like a health condition that I thought, how will I ever shift this? When I started understanding a little bit more of how people work in the quantum, it all of a sudden felt like I could just see the path. Oh, okay. I'm an energetic being. Anything can shift. I'm not bound by genetics or DNA. Like we've been told so much that there are things that we just can't change. And as people are researching these ideas more and more, that is proving to be less and less true. And hopefully that will continue to change as well, that it will, as more people see what's possible. I feel like we live in an ever expanding universe. I mean, the universe is literally expanding all the time. So, what kind of shifts does that create in what's possible for us as we move forward?
you're right. There's endless possibilities. And when we can begin to take that on, like it's endless possibilities, it's going to, can you imagine if we looked at the moment in time that you and I are having this conversation and what is happening out there in the world, which I'm not going to get into, but it's not great at the moment. And it can be. But if we could, we as a collective, we could begin to realize that we don't need to be so rooted in our, I'm going to say opinions, our ways of thinking and being. And if we could expand on that and say, well, it doesn't have to be this way, we can change it through our thoughts. We can literally go in and change the course of history by changing the way we think and the way we see and the way that, you know, the context is. And I think what's so wonderful about the work that you do specifically is helping people reach within themselves to find that we are so powerful and limitless that we can change the narrative of the
Yes,
past, present, and future.
yes. And if that feels very out of reach to you as you're listening to this, a short example I would give is that um, someone could cut me off in traffic. And there are some days where it infuriates me. And there's some days where I just gently hit the brakes, move out of the way, and think, okay, yeah, you go first. It's fine. I don't want to, like, if you are in that much of a rush, I send you blessings. I hope everything's okay. And the example there is that both times nothing different happened. The only thing that was different was my perspective that I was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we're shifting reality just by shifting our inner state and how we perceive the world. And that's like a nice graspable place to start,
Mm-hmm.
where when so many big things can be happening in your life or in the world that it feels like, yeah, but you guys don't understand what's happening with me. And I
Mm.
understand that I have so much compassion for being in that place. And I just want to start by saying it's all baby steps. So we just look at what is possible inside of us to shift first.
Mm.
Where can we approach our lives with more peace and more ease, and look at what we're bringing to the table from our own point of view and perception.